everybody, let's make the ultimate oyster platter in 5 minutes. We're jumping right in and starting with our accompaniments. We're gonna grate some fresh horseradish with the Dalstrong zester. We're gonna create a mignonette with our red wine vinegar and shallot, and then we're gonna have some fresh lemon slices to squeeze over top of our oysters. Starting off by mincing our shallot with the Dalstrong Shogun series chef knife. So this is going to be for our mignonette, which is going to be the sauce that goes with our oyster. It's super easy to make, just shallots and red wine vinegar. So I'm just going to put this into a small ramekin and then add enough red wine vinegar just to cover the shallots, and the shallots are gonna flavor that red wine vinegar. We're definitely not gonna need all of this horseradish, so we're just gonna cut off what we need, and then we're gonna peel the skin and grate it with the Dalstrong zester. Try not to take too much of the flesh, just take off that woody looking skin. We've got our Dalstrong zester, and we're just grating this horseradish so it's nice and fine. Depending on how many oysters you are serving, you're probably gonna want about a couple tablespoons per dozen oysters. The difference between a zester and a grater is a zester is going to get things a lot more fine, so you definitely wanna use a zester for grating the horseradish. We're just gonna put this in a bowl and set it aside until we're ready to serve. Just gonna cut a few lemon wedges just to add some extra flavor to those oysters. I love how sharp this Shogun knife is. Cuts through this lemon so easily. I'm just gonna use the tip here to get some of those seeds out, because no one wants those seeds in their oysters. I always like to cut off the white pith part just to make it look a little nicer for when we serve it. We're using this bowl to plate our oysters today. If you don't have something like this at home, all you really need is a dish that has a bit of a lip. You can use a frying pan or even a stainless steel bowl. Just want to keep that ice in place. No matter the vessel you're using, you want to make sure that you fill it right up with ice. I'm gonna add some salt to the top of the ice. This is gonna help to insulate the ice so it doesn't melt as quickly. Before we get started with shucking our oysters, we gotta make sure that we clean them first, so I will be back. So fold your towel into thirds, and this half is gonna help you protect your hand when you're shucking. To start shucking our oysters, we wanna make sure that the belly of the oyster is facing down and the flat shell is on top, and the hinge, which is the pointed part, is facing towards your shucker. We're gonna use the Shogun shucker, and we're gonna put it into the hinge, and you're just going to gently start wiggling the knife back and forth. The reason I'm using the towel is to protect my hand just in case this knife slips. This is the Shogun series, and I like that it has a longer handle because it gives me a better grip. A lot of shuckers are short. They're like stubby. Some oysters are gonna be more difficult to pop than others, but once you get it popped, you're gonna turn your knife and run it along the oyster shell. You want to release the muscle from under the oyster so it slips right into your mouth. To know your oysters are fresh, there should be liquid in the shell once you pop them, and you want to ensure that you release the muscle from under the oyster. The tip of the shucker really helps to get that muscle released underneath, which is going to make a much more enjoyable eating experience. And then it looks like this, and then you're just going to put it on that bed of ice. Once our oysters are shucked, we're just gonna add our accompaniments to the tray: horseradish, lemon, and our mignonette. And that is how you make the ultimate oyster platter in 5 minutes. Bon appetit!